I'm out of time, Mr. Chairman, but the director did. You started off by giving us examples of things the Bureau has done, and every one of us who's worked with the FBI, that is the FBI that I know. What concerns me, Director, is when you have 5 immunity agreements and no prosecution, when you are allowing witnesses who happen to be lawyers, who happen to be targets, to sit in on an interview. That is not the FBI that I used to work with.
Can you cite any other instance in which a witness to a criminal investigation who has already been interviewed by the FBI has been allowed to accompany and serve as legal counsel to the target of that investigation?
I can't from personal experience. It wouldn't surprise me if it happened.
So I've been really careful to not criticize you. In fact, I said it again this morning. They wanted to know, was he gotten to? Did somebody corrupt him? No, I just disagree with you. But it's really important to me that the FBI be respected. And you got to help us understand. Because it looks to me like some things were done differently that I don't recall being done back when I used to work with them. And with that, I would yield back to the chairman.
Can I respond to that?
Yes, you may.
I hope someday when the political craziness is over, you will look back again on this, because this is the FBI you know and love. This was done by pros in the right way. That's the part I have no patience for. I hope someday when the political craziness is over, you will look back again on this, because this is the FBI you know and love. This was done by pros in the right way.
The FBI has fired Peter Strzok. He was the agent who was removed from the Russia investigation last year after he sent text messages disparaging President Donald Trump.
This was done by pros in the right way.
Once one of the FBI's top counterintelligence agents, Peter Strzok is out. Fired over text messages he exchanged during the campaign with an FBI lawyer, Lisa Page, about Donald Trump. In one, she asks, he's not ever going to become president, right? Right? And Strzok, at the time a senior agent on the Russian investigation, responds, no, he's not. We'll stop it.
This was done by pros in the right way.
Justice Department's Inspector General said Strzok made investigating Russian election meddling a higher priority than the Clinton emails, concluding, quote, we did not have confidence that Strzok's decision was free from bias.
This was done by pros in the right way.
There's been few people that have done so much damage to the reputation of the FBI than this guy Peter Strzok. He was the one that bent over backwards to try to help Hillary. He was editing Comey's statement in ways that lessened her culpability about foreign interception of her emails. He's the one that changed the language from gross negligence to extremely careless to try to get it out of the statute. And then he turns around after Hillary's exonerated and opens up a counterintelligence investigation on the Trump campaign, thin as reed as possible. And then, of course, the text messages that evince his anti-Trump bias. He wanted Hillary to be president, and he hated Donald Trump with a passion.
This was done by pros in the right way.
You've written about this. Your wife, Patrice, Hillary Clinton supporter.
Oh, yeah. And I didn't take a poll among all the kids, but I'm pretty sure that at least my 4 daughters, probably all 5 of my kids, wanted Hillary Clinton to be the first woman president.
I wanted a woman president really badly, and I supported Hillary Clinton. A lot of my friends worked for her, and I was devastated when she lost.
They wanted to know, was he gotten to? Did somebody corrupt him?
At least my 4 daughters, probably all 5 of my kids, wanted Hillary Clinton to be the first woman president.
They wanted to know, was he gotten to? Did somebody corrupt him?
I wanted a woman president really badly, and I supported Hillary Clinton. A lot of my friends worked for her, and I was devastated when she lost.
This was done by pros in the right way.
Did Robert Mueller ever ask you if you were biased against Donald Trump?
He did not.
Was it clear to you that Mr. Mueller was aware of these incendiary text messages?
Yes.
So he knew of the text messages, but never asked you whether you were biased or not?
That's correct.
In Chapter 12 of the Inspector General's report, he indicates that the decision Peter Strzok made to de-emphasize the Hillary Clinton email investigation and instead rapidly accelerate his effort in the Trump-Russia investigation is not a decision that the Inspector General could say was clear of bias. And so it proves that really that there are 2 rotten bookends on the Russia investigation. And that's my worry with Bob Mueller. Maybe he didn't want to ask Strzok whether or not his bias infected the investigation, because had Strzok said yes, Mueller would have had to stop in his place and disband his effort. And here it seems as though he saw the bias and he did not want to ask Peter Strzok how it could have infected the investigative finding.
This was done by pros in the right way.
The most surprising thing is that Peter Strzok lacked the ability to admit bias. His bias is clear to everyone. When he's saying F Trump, when he's saying Trump is an idiot, when they're talking about Trump as a loathsome human being, that's clear bias. It was very surprising to me that he didn't just dispense with that and say, look, I didn't like Trump. I had bias against him, but my bias didn't affect the work that I did. Instead, he acted as though he didn't harbor any bias, which is an absurd proposition. Kennedy, this is one of the reasons why more than half the country now, according to the last CBS poll, really does not approve of this investigation in its current form, because the very people who started it so clearly had an axe to grind with the president.
This was done by pros in the right way.